Hi everyone, I'm Melissa. My parents look like they've drunk an elixir of beauty. Mom and Dad are incredibly attractive. They've worked in the fashion industry their whole lives. Their photos were on the covers of countless magazines. It's little wonder that I was born pretty. Ever since I was a kid, my parents have been preparing me for a modeling career. They taught me how to walk the podium when I was 5. It all began when I was in my final year of high school. At the time, I worked part-time at a modeling agency, hoping to sign a contract with it and move to Paris right after graduation. Oh, Melissa, you're going to steal the spotlight. I'm sure you'll become famous in France. I was looking forward to my new, exciting life after the move. However, my boyfriend grew sadder by the day. Kit, I haven't seen your charming smile in a while. What's the matter? You look so glum. Why would I be smiling? We're gonna graduate soon and you'll move away. Kit was a real sweetheart and the most popular guy at school. We started dating back in elementary school. Of course, I didn't want to part with him either, but my parents had always said that becoming a model was my destiny. I couldn't let them down. Melissa, it'd be so cool if you'd stayed with me here. Sorry, but I'm not gonna change my mind. We can try a long-distance relationship and visit each other, though. Long-distance relationships suck. I won't be able to hug you. We'll figure something out. I went to a photo shoot after class. They gave me a wig with a long rainbow braid, and I got ready in the dressing room. It was so chaotic on set that day. Everyone was running around and bumping into each other. All of a sudden, a lighting technician ran into me. I almost fell and ruined my dress. Sorry, I didn't see you there. I didn't go ballistic because of that. After all, I wasn't an arrogant diva. But then, I realized something was wrong. Weird red spots suddenly appeared on my hand. What the? Hold on. The lighting technician had just touched me there. Was he the one to blame? I had no time to think about it. The photographer was already waiting for me. I couldn't appear in front of the camera like that. So I quickly rushed into the dressing room, grabbed some glitter spray, and covered up the redness. I'm ready! Sorry I kept you waiting. Everyone liked my glittering skin and the photo shoot went smoothly. To be honest, I was freaking out the whole time. After all, I had to look perfect to keep my job. Phew. I hope I covered up the spots well. My rival Tiffany heard this and smelled my weakness. What spots are you talking about? I just meant the stains on the dress. I accidentally spilled some juice on it. Right. Phew, that was close. Tiffany would do anything to go to Paris in my place. She wasn't as charming or talented as me, but everyone knew she would stop at nothing to achieve her goals. So I tried to keep my mouth shut when she was around. Soon, the spots on my hand disappeared, and I decided to stay away from the lighting technician. After all, I was sure it was his fault. Unfortunately, soon the spots came back. Kit put his arm around my shoulder at school, and the spots reappeared. That's when I realized something was wrong with me. I didn't tell my parents anything because I didn't want to disappoint them. I just used a glitter spray to cover up the spots again, and I headed to a hospital. A doctor examined me and ran several tests. A couple of days later, I got a phone call and was told the results. I was in for some bad news.
Melissa, you have dermographism. It's a very rare allergy to touch. Unfortunately, there is no cure for it yet.
The doctor said the red spots would appear every time I was touched. My blood ran cold. It was a disaster. I was afraid that it would destroy my dreams of becoming a model. I felt terribly self-conscious, and I didn't tell anyone about my condition. For several days, I felt lost. But then, I pulled myself together and decided I would shine on the podium anyway. No allergy is gonna stop me. I'll fulfill my dream. All I had to do was get everyone to stay away from me and avoid getting touched. To achieve that, I had to become the worst version of myself. I started treating my family, friends, and even Kit terribly. When my boyfriend tried to hug me, I recoiled. Ugh, stay away from me. You reek of sweat. Really? Sorry. I knew my words hurt him and I felt terrible, but I couldn't let anyone find out my shameful secret. Soon enough, everyone around me thought I was arrogant and conceited because of the way I acted. Melissa got a swollen head because she's moving to Paris soon, right? She thinks she's a star already. Look at all that glitter. Everyone was gossiping about me and judging me, so I started skipping school. What was even worse, Tiffany noticed I was on edge and started to grow suspicious. She followed me around and eavesdropped onto all my conversations. You're hiding something, Melissa. I'm watching you. Oh, sod off. You should work on yourself instead of stalking me. You look like an octopus on the catwalk. I tried not to show it, but I was actually terrified my rival would find out the truth and tell everyone about my condition. I would definitely be kicked out of the modeling agency then. Luck had truly turned its back on me. My allergy got worse. Now, I didn't even need anyone to touch me for the red spots to appear. Luckily, they were small, and I easily hid them with concealer or glitter. either. Still, I didn't want to hide my whole life, so I Googled my allergy to learn more about it. And I found out there was a community of people suffering from my condition in our city. They met up once a week and raised money for research into the cure. Yes, this is exactly what I need. I found their address and came to the next meeting of the community. I wore glasses and I didn't tell them my real name. After all, I didn't want anyone to find out I was a famous model and call the paparazzi. I was looking for an empty seat when a girl whose whole face was covered in spots greeted me. Hey, new girl, you can sit next to me. Thanks. I didn't think there would be so many people here. I like coming here and seeing that I'm not the only one suffering from the allergy. I'm Kelly, by the way, and I'm just Mel.
Your skin looks normal. Are you sure you're at the right place?
Yeah, I just covered it up. Kelly sighed and said that her allergy was much stronger and hiding all the spots wasn't possible for her. She looked so upset. I took off my glasses to get a better look at her. It was a mistake. Kelly gasped and said she recognized me.
I've seen your photos in fashion magazines. You're Melissa.
Shh! Please don't tell anyone. I don't want anyone to know about my condition. She promised to keep my secret and admitted that she dreamed of becoming a model too. I knew how unforgiving the fashion industry was and that Kelly stood no chance with such a strong allergy. But I didn't say anything because I didn't want to upset her. It made me wonder why some people got lucky and had perfect looks and some didn't. It was so unfair. The speech of the woman that organized the meeting distracted me from such unpleasant thoughts. She happily told us that as soon as we raised enough money, the development of the cure would begin. That inspired me. I found out how much money they needed, and I asked my parents to give me the right amount. I had to lie and say I needed it to buy a prom dress.
What an expensive dress. Well, you deserve it.
Yay! It worked! I took the cash and I donated it to the community. Oh, this is wonderful! I'm sure we'll find the cure soon. Her words gave me hope. Soon, I would get the medicine and forget all about my allergy. I kept coming to the community meetings, and one day I ran into Kit. He was shocked and asked me what I was doing here. I was so tired of hiding everything from my boyfriend that I plucked up the courage and I told him the truth.
Melissa, is that why you've been acting so weird? You should have just told me. I'll love you with any allergies.
Thank you, Kit. I would hug you, but I can't.
I get it. We'll get through this together.
Kit promised to keep my secret. I was so grateful. It seemed like things were finally looking up. Unfortunately, I had to use more and more spray to hide the spots. It made me think about all the poor people with incurable diseases again. Still, I believed a cure for my condition would soon be found. One day, I decided to find out how the research was going. However, I only found a boarded up door when I came to talk to the scientists. What the heck? I called the woman I'd given all the money to, but no one answered. What was going on? Where was everyone? Then I heard someone sigh behind me. It was Kelly.
Bad news, Melissa. They turned out to be scammers and left with our money.
What? What about my medicine? It made my blood boil. How could those bastards profit from our misfortune? I realized that I wouldn't be getting rid of my allergy anytime soon. I had to learn to live with it. The next day, Kit asked me out on a date, but I had a photo shoot planned. When I arrived at work, I went into the dressing room to cover up the spots. Unfortunately, Tiffany caught me red-handed. Damn it, that was the last thing I needed.
Hey girl, what are those spots of yours?
There was no point in lying, so I told her about my rare allergy. Her reaction stunned me. Tiffany actually seemed sympathetic.
Oh, I'm really sorry. I won't tell anyone.
Wow. You're not so bad after all, huh? Thanks. I left the dressing room in a great mood. That photo shoot took place by a pool filled with glitter water. Everything was shimmering and shining. It looked amazing. I stood in front of the camera and got ready to pose. All of a sudden, someone came up behind me and pushed me into the pool before running away. I had been standing on the side of the pool, so I immediately fell in with a splash. The shiny water was all over the place. I was helped out of the pool and rubbed with a towel. The concealer and glitter washed off, and everyone saw that I was covered in red spots. The director of the modeling agency even gasped in surprise. Melissa, what's wrong with your skin? Everyone was staring at me like I was some sort of exhibit in a museum. I couldn't stand such humiliation and ran away in tears. By the door, I almost bumped into Tiffany. That witch! She must have been the one to push me. I knew I couldn't turn my back on you. You're so vile and petty. With those rude words, I ran away. As I wandered the streets, I thought that my modeling career was over. Weirdly enough, I didn't feel all that sad. However, I still wanted to talk to someone. I went to Kit's and I ran into him by his house. He was coming back home. Kit, I'm so glad you're here. I really need you.
Baby, what's wrong?
I was about to complain when I noticed his feet were wet and he was covered in glitter all over. What the heck? Kit, why are you covered in glitter? Did you push me into the pool? I thought he would deny it, but he immediately admitted he did it.
I hoped the agency would fire you and you would stay with me instead of moving to Paris. I'm sorry.
My perfect life had already fallen apart, and his betrayal was the last straw for me. Kit's reasons weren't good enough. I didn't forgive him and I dumped him on the spot. For the next few days, I didn't want to see anyone, and I didn't leave my room. But then, the director of the agency suddenly called me. Melissa, where have you been? You've seen my terrible rash. I can't be a model. Don't be silly. No allergy can ruin true beauty. The fashion industry needs all kinds of models. I couldn't believe it. Had I been ashamed of my allergy for nothing? The director said she'd be waiting for me at the photo shoot the next day. I remembered Kelly's dream and I asked her if I could bring along an aspiring model. Well, I don't see why not. Awesome! I told Kelly the good news, and that day, we came to the photo shoot together. By the way, we didn't cover up our spots, and we still looked stunning. After that, I found Tiffany and I apologized for all the things I'd said. I was sure it was you who'd pushed me in so everyone would see my rash. That trick is too dirty, even for me. I saw Kit do it and I wanted to tell you about it, but you ran away too quickly. I told her I'd already broken up with the bastard. Then, Tiffany admitted that she also had a flaw she'd always hidden.
Your story gave me courage. I'm not afraid of standing out anymore.
She used a wet wipe and removed the concealer on her cheek, proudly showing off a large birthmark. How cute! It doesn't look bad at all.
Now I believe it too.
We used to be sworn enemies, but we became friends. I introduced Kelly to Tiffany and I went home. I had a talk with my parents. At first, I confessed why I'd actually asked them for the money and said I'd hidden my allergy because I'd been afraid of disappointing them.
Sweetie, why didn't you just tell us everything?
You're so perfect. I didn't want you to be ashamed of me.
Melissa, don't be silly. You're our daughter. We will support you no matter what.
Then you won't be mad if I say that my life plans have changed? I told Mom and Dad that even though I still liked fashion, I was thinking of going to medical college. I want to find a cure for my allergy. It would help so many people. Luckily, my parents just smiled and said they wouldn't stand in the way of my dream.
You're a brave and smart girl. You'll become an excellent doctor. Listen to your heart, dear. I have no doubt you'll succeed.
Since then, I stopped being ashamed of my condition, and I told my classmates why I'd been acting so weird. They were very understanding and things soon got better. Kit kept apologizing and hitting on me for a long time after that, but I cut him out of my life. I had 2 new wonderful friends. Tiffany, Kelly, and I took part in photo shoots to draw public attention to rare diseases. After graduation, I refused becoming a model, and Tiffany went to Paris instead of me. In the meantime, I fulfilled my dream and got into a medical college. I have my first class today, so wish me luck. Of course, being different is hard sometimes, but it's not my skin that makes me unique. It's my personality. I'm sure I'll be able to make friends in college. Guys, what makes you unique? Tell me in the comments down below, and don't forget to like my story.